Welcome to my YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, share, and drop your comments. Thank you. I came across this blouse, this front twist blouse. I love it so much. I've never made anything like this before. I just told myself, why not try something like this? I decided to give it a try, and at the end of this tutorial I will show you what I made, and I want you to let me know in the comment section if I got it right. I think I got it, but I still want to hear from you. Stay with me as we learn how to make this beautiful blouse. The first thing we need is a pattern paper as usual. So this is the pattern paper, and as we go on, I will tell you some mistakes I made being the first time, so that if you want to try it out too, you won't make the same mistake as I did. Okay, so the first thing on the pattern paper, I want to mark my shoulder line. I'll mark this, that's the start, that's the shoulder line. Then from the shoulder line, I will go to my waistline. So measure my waistline is usually 16, so mark 16. I will mark the waistline. So from the waistline, I went down by 4 inches. That is mistake number 1. If I'm sewing next time, I'd rather go down by maybe 2.5 inches or 3 inches. I think 3 inches is fine. Being my first attempt, I measured 4 inches below my waistline and I drew another line. So when I'm making yours, go down by 2.5 inches or 3 inches from your waistline. That's fine. The next thing, on my shoulder line, I marked 3 inches. Then I marked my back, my shoulder divided by 2, which is 8. Then from there, I now marked the 5 inches, which will now serve as my sleeve, because it is a cut together sleeve. From that sleeve point, I came down by 1.5 inches and I drew my shoulder slant. I placed it on the 3 inches I marked earlier, and I went down to the 1.5 inches. That is what I use as my shoulder slant. So from that point, from the sleeve point now, I came down by 7 inches. That is mistake number 2. I should have used 9 so that my arm can come out free. So here, just divide your biceps by 2. That is your bicep by 2. Then you had maybe 2 inches to hit for it to be very free. So now on my waistline, I divided my waistline by 4. I divided it by 4. I marked it. I added 1 inch as is. Then I added another 1 inch as my seam allowance. That is mistake number 3. My ease, 1 inch for my ease is too much. Next time I may add just 0.25 or even 5 of half an inch. I think half an inch as my ease is okay. I think half an inch as my ease is okay. So what I have on my waistline, I transfer it directly to the other line that I drew. I transfer it there. That is, I think, another mistake. Next time when I'm drafting, I will draft a full bodice. That is from my shoulder to the length of the blouse, so that I can cut off the part I don't need. I'll tell you the reason as we go. So as I'm drafting, I felt okay, this is the back. So I decided to do the back neckline. So I make the neck depth 1 inch, but I realized that no, let me make it 1.5 inches. So eventually I made the back neck depth 1.5 inches, and I used 3 inches for the neck width. So this is what I have, and I cut out the pattern. So after cutting out the pattern, I placed it on my fabric. At this point I wasn't even thinking that, oh, the back will be longer than what I have presently. So it was when I decided that, okay, after cutting, I said, okay, I have one fabric, let me just test it on this fabric. And I have to apologize ahead. The fabric, I just got it from, it's been with me for a long time. So when I started with this pattern, I don't really know what to do with it. So I just got out the pattern, and the fabric, and the fabric is not iron. I didn't press it, so it's kind of rough, but I just want to try out my pattern, so I didn't really bother to iron it. So now this is the fabric. I already cut out the pattern on the fabric. As I said, it wasn't as long as the back, so I had to extend the back, and I added the hip measurements to it. So that is for the back. Now let's manipulate this paper to get the front twist. So the first thing is to readjust my neckline. If you look at the design, the style, you see that the neckline is more of a V. So I decided to make it a V. I think here I came down by 6 inches. Later on I realized it wasn't deep enough, so I readjusted it. But for now, this is just what I did. I adjusted the neck to make it a V. So the next thing is to draw lines. This line is what I will cut open, that will give me the twist. So I just drew from this point like that. So at the end I had 4 lines, and the next thing is to cut it. So I'll slash it open. So after cutting, I pick another paper, and I'll place it on it, and I will spread it. To make it easy, I decided to draw an horizontal line which will serve as my reference line. So I will draw horizontal line, and I will start spreading from that point. and the interval of my spread is 2 inches. I use 2 inches as the space between each one. So, and since I have roughly 4 spaces, that means I added 8 inches extra. If I am to sew again, I think I will make the spread to be 10 inches altogether, so that it can be fuller. And I forgot to say that I added 4 inches extra to make the length of the blouse, the back that I cut. I added 4 inches to make it to increase the length. That was what I added at the back. So the distance between each is 2 inches. 2 inches. So the next thing is to draw an horizontal line from this point. I'll draw an horizontal line, and also the reference line I drew earlier, I will extend it also. Now the next thing is to measure what I have here. I think at this point I have like 11.25. So after measuring it, I will mark what I measured at this point. I measured 11.25, so I marked it. Now at the lower part, this part, it will end up to be my hip line, the lower part of the blouse. So the 11.25, I marked it, and since it is the hip, I will still have to extend it. So I first drew a straight line to connect them. Now, since it is my hip, I extended it by 1 inch. And that is another mistake. I should have used my hip divided by 4. Then add my allowances to it. But anyway, let's continue. So I did the curve. I'm trying to since it's the blouse, I just did a curve at that point. So the next thing is to cut it out. So I did not notice that my camera stopped. So but this is what I did after cutting out that pattern. I used it to cut out my fabric, and I added allowance at some point. I added half-inch allowance at the lower part. And at this point too, that's the neckline. Then that's the center front. This point I'm touching is the center front. So I cut 2. If you look at the blouse very well, it has joining at the center front. So I cut 2 of these pattern, and I marked this point. That is where the twist will start. So I had to notch that point. I had to notch it, and this point too, I have to notch this point also. So I have to notch those 2 points, just trying to make sure my notch is it's okay. Just trying to make sure I notched at the right spots. So the next thing now is to take it to my sewing machine and sew the center front. Okay, I've done that. I have to apologize again, my fabric is rumpled. I just decided I wasn't sure of what I'm doing, so I just said no, I'm not going to iron it. Let me just try and see if I'm doing the right thing. So just trying to maintain that notch. Don't be like me as you sew. Please remember to iron it or to press, as the case may be. Now this point, you see this arrow that I just marked, that is that point on my fabric, and this other arrow that I marked, I have to sew them, join them together. That was why I did that notch. To make it easy, I will label my fabric. I will label 1 and 2. You can do your own label by labeling right or left, but for me, so this is my 1, this is 1, and I will mark here too 1. So I will turn the fabric to the other side. I will mark 2 at those points, and this point too I will mark 2. You can decide to mark left and right, but I'm just marking 1. So 1 I will sew 2 to 1. I hope you understand. Just I'll try to explain. So I think I'm holding 2 now. I will add it to 1, and I have to make sure it is the right side to right side. So just, it's kind of confusing. That is 1, this is 2, and this is 2. So I'll make sure okay, I try to turn it right side now. Let's see. This is 1, this is 2. So I will join 2 and 1 together, 2 and 1 together, starting from my notch. The 2 notches will be together, right side to right side. Still trying to figure the best way to go about the joining. If you just take your time at this point. That is 2. You see that point I'm holding? It's that mark, that yellow mark on my pattern. So I will sew this, I will make the notch at that point to come like this. So I'll start sewing from that point, from that notch point. I have to use my pin. So you see 1 and 2 are together. So I'll start from the part that I notched, and I'll sew it to the end. It's kind of confusing at this point, but you just have to settle down. You see we have something like this at the right side. So I'll take it to my sewing machine, I'll sew it, and I'll come back. So after sewing, this is what I have. That's the center front joining that I did initially, and this is the twist 1 and 2. Okay, let's turn it to the right side. This is what it is. but it is. Now I still have my one. I have to turn it like this. That's the notch. That's two. So I'll pick one. I'll pick one and I'll join it to two. I'll take it to my sewing machine again and I'll sew. I'll sew it and I'll bring it back. Alright, this is what I have. Oh, this is it. Did I get it? I think so. I think so. Or what do you think? Let me know what you think in the comment section. So in a minute I'll show you the back view. So the next thing is to take it to my sewing machine, join the shoulder to the back, do the neckline, join it. I'll do that and I'll come back to show you what the error I think I discovered again. As I said earlier, this is my first attempt and I'm just trying my pattern house. That's why my fabric is this rumpled. Okay, so having joined the front and back, I realized that I have excess. The front is kind of longer than the back. So I'll have to trim it off. I'll trim off that part that's longer and try to achieve the curved shape on the style. So after that I'll turn it and bring it back for you. This is what I have. So rate me on this. Did I get it? Did I get the design? What do you think? Drop it in the comment section. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do like this video, share it, and I'll see you in my next video. Trust me, you will always learn something new on this channel. Bye for now.